All right, super excited. It is officially, we are well into 2023 at this point. Super excited. This is the Vital Wire. All right, I have been looking forward to this since I've seen it on the calendar. If you want to talk energy, I think there's 3 people lined up right here. We could out-energy this whole community if you put us in the same room. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, Becky Robbins, Maine, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We are super excited. I want to tell your story before we even let you, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pause. There's a very strategic, and we were blessed to have met you for certain reasons, which I will let you explain. But you are very talented. But I want to start off before we even let people know what it is you do. I mean, they can look behind us and see what it is you do. But let's start off with, where did you come from? Where did you grow up? Tell us a little bit about you growing up and how you got here.
Okay, well, to be here doing a podcast is really, wow, that's really awesome. So, bucket list thing. But I was raised in Southern Illinois on a hog and cattle farm, which most people would be like, really? Real small community, not from the St. Louis area. So, nobody can ask me that question.
What high school?
Yeah. I get it all the time, and I'm like, from Illinois.
Right. So I've been here, though, for 11, 12 years now, I guess. And I find myself asking people where they went to high school. Yep. So, and with having kids in the community and stuff. But I was raised on a farm and, just learned how to work hard and, being an interior designer, what I do, sorry, let the cat out of the bag there, and, never crossed my mind.
Really?
Never, ever.
Really?
But, that's where I'm from.
How did you end up from farm in Illinois to St. Louis area? How did you end up here?
Okay, so, got married, moved with my husband, my former husband, to Crofton, Maryland, and that's where the kiddos were born. I have 2 boys, and they were born in Annapolis, and then lived out there for about 5 years. Loved it, really, really loved it, but then wanted to be back closer to family, and my former husband took a job here in the St. Louis area, and so that's how we got here. And, moving to Missouri, I'm like, Missouri? It didn't seem near as cool as living in Annapolis, Maryland, right?
Or Southern Illinois.
Well, it was one step up from Southern Illinois, that's for sure. But
shots fired.
You know what? I love when I was a kid. Of course, I didn't appreciate being on the farm. I wanted to live in town where my friends were. I wanted to ride a bike on, pavement and not gravel. And I hated when school was over because I didn't have anybody to play with. And so I wanted to live in suburbia. So I feel like my kids now have just lived this Norman Rockwell life because they've been in suburbia, they've had neighbors to play with and all of that. But as I, get older, I definitely appreciate my roots and where I came from and the values that I learned. And we live in New Melly now, and so small town, and love that. Feels, more like home. And I love being out and seeing the farmers and smelling the ground, when it's planting season, and watching the combines at harvest time. It makes me want to just go up and say, hey, could I ride with you for just a little bit?
You just take me around this field a few times, I'll hop back out.
So a lot of people are always, when you play that game like 2 truths and a lie or whatever, and you say you're raised on a hog farm, and they're like, no, that's definitely the lie.
So, current family, now you live in New Melly, your husband, who is awesome, and you have 3 kids?
We have 4, so
4
we're
kids.
a blended family. Yes, I'm married to a very handsome man, Dan Main, and he has 2 children, Maddie, who is 21, Mason, who is 17. I have 2 children, Wilson, who is 20, Wyatt, who is 17. So 4 kids, they're basically the same ages. We call them the bigs and the littles, or the M's and the W's. And we are a very busy, active family. All 4 kids are active in sports. Maddie was a college cheerleader. She's not anymore, but she was. And Wilson plays lacrosse in Ottawa, Kansas. Wyatt, who is a senior at Francis Howell.
Say it.
Because I can't stand it. Who just happened to win the state championship for Class 5 football.
That's so cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, us senior moms feel like we definitely played a huge part in that.
Yep.
But
You did.
so very proud of that. He'll be going on to school. We're pretty sure he's committed to a school in Chicago to keep playing football. And then our other son, Mason, is looking to go on and play baseball in college. So
Wow.
we spend a lot of time on bleachers, and we love every second of it.
That's super cool.
Yes. So, so that's us.
It's an exciting time.
It is. You know, as a mom, you go through all these different seasons of life with your kids, and you think, if I can just get past this and if I can just get past that. And let me tell you, moms with younger kids, putting them in timeout is so much easier than dealing with older kid issues.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good to hear. I need to hear that today. Timeout was worth it the other day. It's fine.
I know, and it's so hard. And us moms have so much mom guilt, and that you're never doing enough. And but being with having older children, they're your most favorite people to hang out with.
Yeah.
There is no one I'd rather be with than to hang out with all of our kids together.
That's super cool, because you know what those kids are thinking? I don't know if they're thinking the same thing. I can see Wyatt
out
saying,
with
you know what? I'm just so looking forward. I'm just going to hang out with my mom all weekend. Like,
You know, as long as I buy
actually, he probably would.
as long as I buy food. Food is what keeps kids going. Where are we going to go eat? So you know what? You just learn how to, time in the car,
Yep.
going to get food. It's good.
I look forward to that. I look forward to the embarrassing moments where I actually get to
Yeah.
force them to hang out with me.
I-
But I think, especially your family, and we're all going to have families where it's super cool to have kids that enjoy and appreciate spending time with us as
Yep.
the parents, which is super cool.
I think she likes me right now, but she's only 2. So I'm pretty cool right now still. So I may not be that cool in a couple of years.
Yeah, just those middle school years are going to hit. So,
She's getting
and it's
sassy.
okay. She'll like you still. I mean, she'll love you. Let me say that. She'll love you. Like you, it'll be on the fence.
She'll
a
really
little
like
bit.
me the days we go to like Target and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Finds out she's going to Disney World.
Yeah, she'll like me those days. That's
Yeah.
fine. I'll look forward to those moments.
So let's jump into the bag you let the cat out of.
Yeah.
So how we ended up coming into relationship was through great referrals, like just renowned, unanimous referrals through our group we have for all of our clients and close family members. That we have a kind of a secret group that we asked into that group of our clients, saying, hey, who would you recommend? We need some interior design work. We didn't know it was going to be a new office, but we want somebody to interior design, and that's how we ended up meeting you, because all of these referrals came in. Becky Robbins. It's like, okay, well, I guess we got to talk to this gal. So just know you have a lot of people.
It was
in your
just like
corner.
message or comment after comment. It was like, okay, well, we would be stupid not to.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'd love to say I have a bag of money and I'm just giving it to those people to say those things, but I do appreciate that.
So we found you because now that we are here in Caudill, you've helped us at the very beginning stages design and give us a very, very very beautiful entry into the office. And what I love about this, and it's not normally the way you work, but we have so much evolving we can do because the time frame we had to get ours done with, we very, very quickly. And I just want to say I'm grateful for you to give us the ability because I know that there's a lot of evolving and you're very much start to finish. And so first of all, I thank you for that. And I'm excited to see how this continues to evolve. But we have gotten so many comments and just your office space is so beautiful. We love the flow, love the colors. You can tell these two walls are actually different whites in the podcast room. Like everything, we get comments nonstop about just the beginning stages of what you have designed so far.
Oh, well, that makes me feel so good. I mean, that's my goal. That's my tagline is helping you love your space. And so it just is a lot of questions and asking my clients and asking you, how do you want this to feel? How do you want your patients to feel when they come in here? And you were really great at being able to articulate that. And, like the energy you talked about, we just really like bounced off of each other with that and the excitement. And I know what it's like to be able to grow and get a bigger space. And, as a small business, it's like, boy, I would love to just say I have no budget at all.
Just have a big bag of money that I just give it.
Yes, but that
everyone's dream.
It just doesn't always happen. And so we kind of just have to think about things in phases and what can we do now and what will give us the biggest bang for our buck and make the most impression on our people. And so it's fun. It's fun to say I love what I do would maybe sound cliche or cheesy, but it's so fun. And, design is so much more than just colors and textures. You're creating an emotion. Yeah. You're creating a feeling. And, the feeling that your clients have when they come in here, we want it to be restful, exciting. So swanky was one of our words we talked about.
Yes,
yeah,
I love that.
That a Southern
Timeless.
Illinois girl knows swanky, but I've been a couple places since then. So,
So very, very great at what you do, and so we definitely appreciate that. Not only do we love our space, you should very much know that everybody else who comes in here whose space it's not, when they walk in here, they too love our space.
Well, that makes me very, very happy.
So, how did you get into it? How did you get into design? Now tell us how did you get into it, and what are you doing now? Like, tell us all about your designs.
Well, it was, like I said, coming from a small farming community, interior design was nowhere on my radar at all. We lived in an older farm home, and my mom was just all the time doing projects around the house. We would refinish furniture. We would make curtains out of bed sheets. We would hang wallpaper. I mean, and she made it fun, and it was a great time that I got to spend with her. So I think it definitely comes from that. And then as I got older and got my own home, playing in my house was one of my favorite things to do, and when you're young, or using stuff from your parents' basements and Goodwill and garage sales. And so just always trying to see what I could do to make our space, look the best. And then I went to school to be a hairdresser because my mom and I used to play beauty shop all the time. So it's really my mom. It's just, my mom's the reason I was a hairdresser, the reason why I, love design. But so being a hairdresser, you get to be creative, you get to talk to people. And I used to be cool, and I worked in a really...
You're still very cool.
No, used to be cool. I worked at a big salon and day spa in Annapolis, and I worked for a manufacturer and a product manufacturer. And, I went around and I taught on platform and had cool spiky hair and all that funky stuff. And but then when I had kids, I wanted to be home. I mean, I really just knew I wanted to be a mom. So I moved my salon into my home, and then we moved here, and I had everything to have a salon, but I didn't know anybody. So I thought, well, okay, we'll we'll start it up here. And so as clients started coming to my home, they would say, oh, wow, Becky, your house is really pretty. And then there would be comments like, hey, do you think you could help me rearrange my furniture? Or could you help me with my bedroom? And so I'm like, well, yeah, sure, that'd be fun. And then I had the client who said, Becky, I will pay you to come and decorate my house. And I was like, huh.
Wait, really?
That was an option?
You'll pay me to do that? So, I mean, I had painted for people. And when I started Becky Robbins Designs, which, was a really long and hard thought out name for the company. I'd watched HGTV all the time. Candace Olsen was my absolute favorite. I wanted to be her. And, but in that time of my life, my children were young. My former husband was having a hard time finding work and keeping a job. And we were in a very delicate financial situation. We were on food stamps, and it was very scary as to whether we were going to be able to keep our home, how we were going to do things. And so I thought, okay, God has given me this little teeny tiny bit of talent to decorate. Let's see what I can do with that. And so that client rolled into her friend and her friend, and it just kept going. And so I thought, okay, I feel like I've got to do something to support my family. And, I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? And God just said, you know what? The birds of the field, they don't worry how they're going to live because they know that their Heavenly Father will provide for them. And I thought,
yes.
Okay, Lord, here we go.
And
then I had a really great friend who was a fantastic graphic design artist. She helped me to come up with my logo. And so my logo has BRD in it. And it was like this crazy aha moment one day that I'm like, that kind of spells bird. And I'm like, all right, people call it little God winks. And I'm like, that's right. God, you're taking care of this bird. And so every design that I have done ever since then, there is a bird somewhere in the design, whether it's a little figurine, whether it's on a pillow, it's in a picture. It's very discreet, but it's my way of saying, God, you provided this job so that my family could eat.
That's so good.
And so just a special story. And now God is, our team has grown, and there's way more birds that he's feeding. and my children grow and eat a lot. And so, there's a lot that he provides for. And so, yeah, it was, I truly believe if you're working in your lane of genius, if you're doing what God has designed you to do, then that you will be successful.
It was powerful. I love the bird. That's so cool. Now I'm like, I want to go back and look at our stuff and see where the bird is. I love that.
Well, that was, and so when we were talking before we started recording, we were sitting out in the lounge area, and I remember the bird in every design and a little bit of it, but I don't think you had told me that whole story. And it's funny how everybody who comes on, there is some tie back to, and we don't hide from it. Like we are a God-loving office, but everybody who has come on here, I can think of, everybody has said something. And Angie Harness came on here and just almost led with it. And I'm like, yes.
She's a great,
but I don't think,
great lady.
And that's why the BRD and the bird, like I knew that, but that story of literally like, the birds do not wonder how they're going to be fed. And that is such a cool tie because that's who we are, and that's who we talk to. It's like we are for everybody here.
Yeah.
Not everybody is going to utilize us. We're willing to serve anybody, but we are not for everybody. That's what we are.
Yeah.
We will serve anybody, but we're not for everybody. But we are always going to lead with God gave us an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And if you want to be a part of a God-loving, service-providing somebody in this area, that's why you're here. And so our community and our connections with that, it's just great how it always comes back to a story that involved. It's God's hand doing it.
Well, it's no surprise. It's totally planned and surprising to us sometimes. But yeah, he's always got a hand in it. And so, running a business is not always easy.
Not always rainbows and sunshine, but
And bags of money. And
Oh no,
bags of money.
to find the bags of money, but it's just and not having that background, but it's just always evolving and it's always figuring it out and just having faith that somebody else is in control. And this year we'll celebrate being in business for 10 years. I mean, I don't even know how that happened. It's crazy. And have I figured it all out? Not at all. Not at all. And always learning, always trying to surround myself with people who know more than I do, that I can grow from, and always trying to tweak things and make our experiences for our clients just the best that they can be.
And I think the best businesses, like you said, they're always changing. You're always growing. You're always improving. You're always learning something. And that's why you're the best business.
Well, and sometimes you learn the hard way.
Yep.
Sometimes
You can't make the right decision every time.
sometimes you learn the hard way, but you learn from the situation.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Well, there's 10 years. And you had also said there's more coming this year. There's an event. How much of that do you want to leak out? What's coming in 2023?
Okay, well, 2023 is we've got a lot of goals on our list, but with celebrating 10 years of being in business and with our story is that I knew that when you start your business and you're always asking what's your why. Yeah. And when I first started, my why was my family needs to eat and I need to put a roof over their head. That was my why. I had to work hard. The option to fail just wasn't there. It was that whole, she believed she could, so she did. That was my, cliche mantra. But over time, your why changes. And I believe my why is that BRD is here to do more and to give more. And I have a very close referral partner, Michael Wiffler, who works at Miller Furniture. And Michael, a couple years ago, started calling me Big Becky. And I hated it. Yeah. I'm like,
I could never understand why.
I don't want to be called Big Becky. That's awful. What? Please don't call me that. And but he meant it in like, you're doing big things. And when I came in to buy furniture, he's like, you always want a bigger sofa, or you want a bigger table, or you want the lamp to be big. And as much as I hated it, the more it started coming up that he was absolutely right. And I'm like, yeah, I do like large scale things, And so it just kind of got to be this joke about Big Becky and all of that. And I knew that I wanted to do more. I knew I wanted to start giving back to my community. And I was just trying to think of what's that called? What's it look like? How do I do that? And I just kind of had this aha God moment a couple weeks ago. Well, maybe a month or so ago. Time kind of flies during the holidays. But, what am I going to name that? And so this year we will be launching a new foundation called Big, with 2 exclamation points in all capital letters. And it will stand for Blessing Individuals Generously. So while God has blessed us, it is time for us now to go out and serve our community. And, blessing people doesn't always mean handing them a bag of money.
Yep.
It all comes back to that bag of money.
Theme of our talk today.
That's not what it means. It's using your time, your talent, your treasure, how you bless people. Maybe you take them a dinner. Maybe you pay off a kid's lunch account at school. Yeah. And but it's just we want to encourage people to love big, to give big, And so that's what we're going to work on this year is we're going to have a big 10-year anniversary party.
Okay.
And that will kind of be the kickoff for our big.
It's
exciting.
That's very cool. I mean, I'm excited to see we'd love, however we can help you with that.
Oh, well,
Let
you
us
guys
know.
are amazing at helping and loving on this community. I mean, I see it, and it's genuine from your heart. You're not doing it for, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you want to give back and you want to be a part. You invest in your community. You're moving over here.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
So, I mean, we do live in an amazing community. And as big as it is for me compared to where I came from, it's small.
Yeah.
It's very close-knit. You play any sports with kids, you know everybody.
Yep.
You know, so, I mean...
And I love that about this community. I love that everyone knows each other. I love that it feels like a small town in a big city. That's what we fell in love with.
Yeah, it is. So. It is a great area. I'm not so sad anymore about living in Missouri. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, but that's what you guys are all about too.
And we talked a little bit when you first stepped into this space, when there was no studs up in this space, and we were kind of going through, and you had asked, and you got a little bit of our story too, and the goals and and the bags of money have been. It's very organic. That has been a little bit of the theme, but I want everybody to kind of catch what I'm taking from all of this, and it's super cool because we get to know more about y'all when you come in and do a podcast. And so one thing that we've always talked about and that people keep bringing is, I don't want you to miss that you can do more with more. Okay. And whether that's a bag of money, whether that's your gifts and skills and talents, the more you have of anything, if you are willing to be big about it, you can always do more with more. And you can bless individuals generously the more you have of anything. So if you have a lot of time and can donate your time, if you have a big bag of money and you want to donate it so you can pay off, like you said, kids' lunch accounts, or I just saw 3 houses that were burned off of end.
Yes.
And I'm like, holy cow, what do they need?
Right.
You can always do more with more. So that's kind of been a little bit of a theme throughout this as you've...
Yeah. And if you have crazy energy like we do, and you just can't
don't work it off.
Sit still, there's something that you can do with that.
Yep.
Yeah, we tend to have that in common.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what makes you a good, strong entrepreneur. You may not have all the answers, but you're willing to try. And that's what I would tell anybody who is thinking about starting a business. Don't overthink it. Just do it. And you might fail, but you know what? You just get back up.
Yeah.
I had some girls come in. I like being a part of the CAPS program, and had some girls who were interested in interior design come in and talk to me, and they were asking, they were getting ready to do this presentation, and all right, we've come up with this business plan. How do we keep it from failing? And I'm like, well, you don't. You don't. I mean, you're probably gonna, there will be times and aspects of it where it fails, but then you just pick it up, learn from there, and then you keep going.
The willingness to learn along that is very, very important, and you can take it on. You can't give up because it's going to happen. You might be the business might be successful, but something might not go according to plan. But if you think you know everything, you'll never learn anything. So if you have the mindset to go in and be able to learn from it, and have the hardworking abilities, and
stay humble.
Yeah.
And work hard. Absolutely.
So how do people work with you? How do we get a hold of you?
Well, so we're, of course, on Facebook and Instagram, and we have a website, BeckyRobinsDesigns.com.
Okay.
The best way is, when sometimes people ask, when do we call you? We would love if you would call us right when you first think that you might want to do a project. Just because, a lot of times we don't know what we don't know. I don't know about what you do, or how you could best help me. So we start everything with what we call a discovery call. So you call the office, and my beautiful, lovely office manager, Lori, will answer the phone and get a little bit of your information and then set up a time for me to call you. And so I'll call you and just say, hey, tell me a little bit about your project, because it's really important when people ask you to come in and design for them. That's very personal. Yeah. It's very intimate. And so I want to make sure that we connect and they feel comfortable with me. I feel comfortable with them. So that discovery call really helps with that. And I get to be able to see, I think I could help you with your project. Or you know what? I think maybe this person might be a better person for you to talk to first. So the discovery call goes well, and then we schedule a consultation appointment. So then that's me coming to your home. It's an hour and a half. And I look at your project. We talk about the scope of it, whether we're going to do a refresh on a kitchen, whether we're going to do a remodel, whether you're building a new home. And then we come up with the scope. I make a proposal for you that has an estimate of your budget, your design time, your timeline of your project. And then that's when we get to start doing the fun stuff and picking out all the pretties.
We are going to put all of those things underneath the podcast. This goes everywhere. So we're going to put everything that you need to know to get a hold of Becky in comments, links, whatever we have to do. If there's anything that we can do for you in the future, anybody you're looking for, anybody you think you can help, we can help. We are always a resource for you.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you need. I've already told multiple people, clients, about you. And actually spoke to somebody today. Actually, she just moved to New Melody and found that out. So it's odd how that all came around.
Yes, small world.
So super excited to help that out. I hope you have enjoyed this.
Oh my gosh, it's fun. This is so exciting. So exciting. Yeah, I was definitely a little bit nervous, but thank you so much for having me here.
Welcome.
It's such an honor to get to be here. And I am so happy to know both of you and so excited for you. And, I can't help but be a mom because I'm a little bit older than you. But I'm proud of you guys, and I'm proud of your vision and what you are doing, and the more that you want to do. And I believe you will also do very big things in this community.
I'm never going to be able to look at that word the same. Honestly. Well, we appreciate it. We will definitely have you on again, especially as bigger things begin to happen.
Yes.
And so super excited for that. Hope everybody has enjoyed our time with Becky Robbins. Dr. Lindsay, Dr. Dustin, Becky here. See ya.
Bye.